Hi guys, it is currently 7:30 where I am. I just dropped my son off at school. I'm about to prepare for my day, and I was just propelled to get on here and discuss single parenting and raising children on your own. I only have one child, but I thought that it would be a very enticing topic to touch on. So grab a tea, grab a water, and come sit down and chat with me about this topic. Okay, so let me give you guys a backstory on when I became a parent. I was 24 years old when I found out that I was pregnant with my son. I was literally at work and I was on break and was having a discussion with my nephew's mother and about a topic, and I was just crying. And it's like what I was crying over, it was just something you wouldn't cry over. And she was like, Cece, are you okay? That's my nickname, by the way. Cece, are you okay? Like, why are you so emotional about X, Y, and Z? And so then she was like, are you pregnant? And so I was like, girl, no. And so she was like, I think you should go get a pregnancy test. So I went and got a pregnancy test, and it came out positive. And I called my child's father and told him about it, et cetera, et cetera. From that point, I was a single parent. So I am 32, well, about to be 32 years old now. And it has really been a journey for me and my son. We have been through so much. And I know there are a lot of people out there who are like, looking at us like terrified, probably to even have children, because quite naturally, statistics show that people of our culture, not culture, people of our ethnicity, Black women, a lot of us predominantly are single mothers, and it's unfortunate that it's that way. Hopefully, things will change, but I think the way the system and the way we were taught a long, long time ago, before we were ever even born, was supposed to be separated, and I'm sure it happens in other cultures as well, with different races as well. But I feel like it's definitely um, a big thing in the Black community. So yeah, like I said, I see a lot of people like, I'm not gonna have kids, and single parenting, like it's just so hard, and it is. Definitely a struggle. But one thing I will state, that I feel like I don't regret having my son at all. I genuinely don't feel like my business. I don't even think I would have been a business owner. I don't know what I would have done, what I would be doing. But I just genuinely think that he is the reason why I have become successful, and my business literally is worth over six figures. And children just give you that push, that drive, because you think to yourself, like, I can't fail because I have someone that is looking up to me. There is no excuse. There's nothing I can do or say that can talk me out of showing my son that his mother is a failure. That's out of the question. And quite naturally, I do believe that being a good parent is to show your life, show your kids a life that they can look up to. So that is what I'm currently doing. That is what I've been doing. But the road it really has been very bumpy. However, I had my son when I was 24 years old, and I remember, when kids are babies, like when he was between the ages of when he was born and it's about, I would say, 3 years old, he was sick, like, because he was in daycare. He had fever. I had no one to watch him. Didn't really have that much support from my family or his biological father's side of the family. So it's like I literally had to keep leaving work, and I literally had to make ends meet. And it was just really, really tough because I didn't realize how much it took to raise a child. Like, it really does take a village. I remember, I will never forget, I cannot remember what this lady name was, but there was a guy that I dated. His sister would watch my son for me while I was working. I'm talking about even when my son was sick, she would watch him. But also, like, when he had a fever, of course I would leave work and almost got fired by doing that to go get him. But I just remember there were some people along the way that helped me. But for the majority, and I'm thankful for you guys. If you ever see this video, I definitely appreciate you guys holding me down for the time that you held me down for, and just being that support system for me, because it was very, very tough. Me and my son, we've literally didn't have anywhere to stay at one point in time. We were literally moving from city to city. Like, I've always moved around a lot. Just simply because if I see an opportunity, I'm going to take it, and I'm going to go where that opportunity is, because that's kind of what you have to do. You have to take those risks and see what works, because if you don't, then I feel like all this would just be for nothing. And everything that you're trying to build for you and your child, it just, I don't know, goes to the wayside. So I was always moving around, moving from city to city, and with my son. And, I will call people in my family and ask them for help. Now, don't get me wrong, I will fault myself. I literally dropped into this masculine energy where I felt so abandoned after everything had transpired the way that it did, that I felt like, you know what, I can do this on my own. I'm strong enough. And I really was doing it on my own. But little by little, I didn't realize that, once you get so busy, when your business start growing and you get so busy and stuff like that, you realize there are certain things you're not paying attention to when it comes to your child. So my son, he has a speech delay, and he also he has a learning disability. And I was so busy working, trying to keep a roof up over our heads and food on the table and stuff like that. I feel like there was a point where I wasn't paying attention to his needs and his development. And, I would try to do flashcards and stuff like that with him. But, at the end of the day, um, because of his shortcomings with children like that, you have to be patient with them, patient with children like that. And at the time, I'm just moving, moving, moving. There was no patience for me. Like, I just felt like I always had to be on go. Hey, can you watch him? I pay you, da 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 da. I gotta go to work. I gotta get this money. Boop, boop, boop. And I felt like it took a toll on him. I would say from ages 2 to about 4, I want to say. And so, but I would say around when he turned 4, that's when I was like, my son, he's saying words, but he's not talking. And it's crazy because I've had friends and I've had people in the past, like even when he was like 3, I would say around 3, they were like, you think you should get your son evaluated? Like, why is he not talking? Like, you know how kids would talk. Kids would be talking at 1. Some kids talk at 1, 2 years old. But me being a first time parent and me being so busy, I just wasn't paying to it. And I'm like, he'll start talking whenever he's ready. And I thought it was just normal, which I don't even, now looking back, it's not unnormal. Every child is develops differently. So I don't look at my son as, oh, you're abnormal or something is wrong with you, because he is extremely intelligent. Like, that little boy, when I tell you, my son is 8 years old now. This little boy talks about visiting Antarctica and how there are scientists that can only, this is something he read, this is something he researched on his own, how in Antarctica there is no population there. I'm just telling y'all a quick story, and that only scientists can visit there, and they take shifts. This is my son literally reiterating the information that he has searched on his own, 8 years old. So, like, for anybody who, I would say for all the people who are out here dealing with kids who have these delays, in development, trust me, they are really intelligent in other areas. And my son is very artistic as well. But just to hear him now, like talk about all these things, because you can get low on yourself, and it kind of can interfere with your esteem. Because um, I was thinking like it was my fault. I was blaming myself because I felt like I wasn't catering to his what is it? To his developmental needs. But then I realized like this is who he is, and quite naturally I do feel like kids do suffer whenever both parents aren't in the household. There is a reason why a man and a woman has to come together and create a life. It's not designed for a child to be raised with by just the mother or by just the father. There will be some lack, or there will be um, some type of effect on that child. Yeah, like I stated, I was busy, and I used to beat myself up about it and stuff like that. And I'm just like, you know what, CquasiaLomax, do what you can. So if I felt like as long as I was getting the flashcard, reading to him, teaching him how to do things on his own, um, then eventually it would manifest into reality, and he will be okay, and he is beyond okay now. So it's like his manners, he's the sweetest kid ever. Like his manners are impeccable. He was struggling with doing homework on his own, I would say, for about 2 years straight. Like I literally had to work with him on his homework, and literally I was like doing it for him. Now he's able to do his homework on his own. He's able to brush his teeth, clean dishes and stuff. Quite naturally, every 8-year-old should be able to do this stuff, but you got to understand that when you're dealing with a child who just learns differently from others, it takes them more time. So he's just now doing these things now. I would say when he turned 7 is really when he started being a lot more independent. And I love that he knows how to cook on his own. Not saying he making a full course meal, but he knows how to cook on his own. And I'm just so proud of him. I'm so proud of myself for being strong enough and just saying, you know what, I'm not going to give up on my son. No matter what, don't, single mothers out there, like I know it is hard. I've even sometimes felt like I've had suicidal thoughts. Like it is nothing to play with, and people really don't understand that being a single mother can really push you into a dark place. And I'm so glad and thankful. I'm thankful that my son never had to feel that. I'm thankful that I never showed him like how much I was struggling with raising him. And he just he's just like this. He is an angel. It's crazy. It's like even though his family isn't around, his biological father isn't around and stuff like that, he still talks about, because he's seen them. He still say, I love my dad, and when I get older, he'll come around, and maybe he literally said this to me on his own. He said, Mommy, when I get older, maybe my dad will come around and he'll take care of me then. Now, I don't know how he's going to feel later on in life as he's grown up and, see things for what it is. But I just think it's beautiful. He reminds me of myself. Like, no matter how tragic a situation can be, he literally just makes the best out of it or sees the best in people. Like, he is just not a hateful child at all. And I'm so grateful that what we've been through, it hasn't had a negative impact on him. Now, I am bracing myself for if that day comes and he has a lot more questions and he's wondering, why did X, Y, and Z happen the way that it did. I'm going to be honest with him. But at the same time, as a single parent, I never talk bad about anyone else, his other family, his dad, or anything like that, because I feel like at the end of the day, there's just a certain level of integrity that you should have as a woman or as a parent, period. Like, no matter what somebody has done to you, I just don't feel like you shouldn't badmouth them to your kids. That's just not setting, that's not a good example to set, because I will only be teaching my son to do the same thing. And I don't want him to be that way. I don't want him to be hateful and resentful. I don't want him to hold grudges. But also, I do want him to understand that sometimes people, um, sometimes people don't catch up to you, or how can I explain it? Some people just don't see things the way that you do, or maybe appreciate things the way that you do. Sometimes you kind of just got to take situations on the chin, and you have to take responsibility. At the end of the day, me being a single parent or you being a single parent, that's not something, that's not a, you can't just blame the other person. At the end of the day, there were signs, I'm certain, that God showed you that you didn't pay attention to, and you just went on. But by no means do I believe that any child that enters this world is a mistake at all. I do not believe that at all, not for once. And like I stated, your kids are here to kind of to push you to be better, literally to push the limit, to show you that there is no limits in life at all. That you just got to keep pushing through and giving them and showing them the best life they can experience. So I'm just happy that I had my son, and I'm happy that I made the choices I made. And at the end of the day, I have no ill will in my heart. It took me a good 7 years to forgive the whole situation. I don't know how long it would take you, but it's very tough forgiving a person. But you don't realize until you forgive someone, the situation itself will always have power over you. And it will literally put you in a place of low frequency. Like, take your energy. It can make you sick. Like, for instance, since we're talking about sickness, I was so just taken back by the fact that I just couldn't believe that it happened to me. However, when I think about the choices that I made and the type of insecurities that I was holding on within myself, I can understand why things went the way that they did, because at the end of the day, I knew better and I should have wanted more for myself. Quite naturally, at the end of the day, when I got pregnant with my son and I did tell his father, he told me, like, soon as I told him, he told me, he sat me down in my face and told me, and me and him was together for like 2 years. He told me in my face, like, I'm not going to be in his life. And I really should have listened. I ain't gonna say I really should have listened to him, but me and my ego, I was like, so what? I could do it by myself. Cause I was used to just being independent anyway and making things happen. I always been a hustler. Like, I've always made a way. So it was like, and something in my spirit was like, I cannot abort my child. Like, it's just something, and I'm so glad I didn't, because my business, Wicked Beauty Tresses, Wicked Beauty is what it's called. Oh my gosh, like, it's shown me so much, and I've helped so many people, and just making women feel beautiful, making women helping women feel secure, even giving them advice. I'm damn near a counselor as well while I'm doing my while I'm with my clients. But it has helped me connect with so many people and experience so many different things. And I just knew when I experienced that, like my business having success, I said, you know what, this is one of the this is why you had that feeling that you could not abort your son. And I'm just so grateful. I trusted my intuition. I'm just very happy about that. So, yeah, it's been a tough road. And all I can say is, at the end of the day, when you're feeling down on yourself, or feeling like you having like still with suicidal thoughts and stuff like that, I think you should just go take a look at your child and remember that your children or your child is never a mistake. And God wouldn't have brought this beautiful angel, or these angels, which are kids to me, into your life if it wasn't meant to make you rise above the situation that you are in. You have to want more. You have to fight. You have to keep fighting for your kids. and for yourself, and become the best version of yourself, so that when they're looking at you, because children do what they see, they don't do what they're told. When they look and they look back and see um how you guys struggled together and how you overcame and how much effort and how much um drive you had to just make sure that you show them that, look, I love you so much unconditionally and I'll do whatever for you. I will bend over backwards. I will die for you. Like, there is nothing. I will go to the end of the earth and conquer everything for you, just to make sure that you have a life that is sustainable for you, that is great for you, that's going to help you excel. And that's just what it's all about. It's really all about just staying positive, knowing things are going to get better, and having a purpose in life and working on that purpose. As long as you work on that purpose that you have and keep building on it, you being a single mother parenting and your career, your purpose, or whatever it is, it's all going to align together. It's all going to intertwine, and you will just see the vision. You will see why you were chosen for this predicament, this situation. Like, it's not as bad as it may seem. That at first you just feel like your life is ruined. Like, nothing is worse than just being stuck here, and let alone being a first, like your first time having a child. What a wake up call. Who would have ever thought? And my clients literally ask me all the time, CC, are you going to have another child? And at first, now this was the trauma. See, this is the trauma side of me, where I didn't really let go of the pain and stuff. I'm like, no, I would never have a child, and da 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 da. And it's crazy because before I had my son, I would always tell myself, I'm never having kids. Because I was just always, it was all about me, 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 me. Well, did God definitely sat me down and humbled me. It's not all about you, which I'm glad, because I was a little selfish back in, years ago. I will admit that. But now that I'm healing and I've forgiven a lot, I will have another child. My son doesn't deserve to be the only child. I think he should have siblings. However, it is going to take, yeah, baby, it's going to take somebody extremely special. It really is. Like, you have to probably be an angel yourself, like superhuman. No, I'm just playing. No, you don't. But it's gonna take time. It's gonna take a very special person who is patient, who is strong. You know. But we're not gonna get into me being with somebody and having a child and stuff like that. But just know he has to definitely have a strong mind, be spiritually intelligent and emotionally intelligent. We just gonna hit them three things: spiritual intelligence, strong mind, emotional intelligence. Which you really have to have a strong mind to have both of them, because that's something I definitely have. And you have to be resilient and stoic, literally. So. But back to being single parents, another thing with kids, they have so much energy. Please keep them active. Do not, I know we do this a lot. I stopped doing this probably like 2 years ago. No, probably about like a year and a half ago or a year. Stop giving your child, stop just throwing an electric device in your child's face and being like, excuse me, y'all, and being like, here, go ahead, get out my face. Stop doing that, because it's really ruining their brains. Yeah, their kids are very intelligent. They have a lot of creative energy inside of them, and it needs to be expressed. It needs to be out and about in this world. Make them go outside and freaking climb a tree, or have them in some sports or something, karate, some type of art. Hey, sign them up for some cooking classes. Go in the summertime, put them in a camp so they can learn how to fish and kayak and whatever, God knows what. But stop just throwing electric devices in their face, because it's not doing anything but messing up their brain, and it's not allowing them to use it in a creative way. because you want your child to grow up and one, have enough mental strength to have a mind of their own to know what they want to do. Like it's kids who are, my son is 8 years old. He already can tell me what he want to be. He wants to be, he said, let me tell you what he said. This is, I just got to tell it. He said that he wanted to be a teacher. I said, what do you want to teach? He said, I want to teach people how to cut, basically how to landscape. He said he's going to have his own landscaping business. He's going to get a truck. He's going to get a trailer to go on back of the truck. And he said he's going to go to each person's house and he's going to knock on their door. He's telling me how he's going to start his business. So off the rip, Carter said he wants to be an entrepreneur. So he's going to be an entrepreneur. Then he said once he gets off work, he's going to work out because I work out a lot. I go to the gym a lot. I work out around the house, outside. It don't matter. I work out anywhere. He said he's gonna work out. Then he said he's gonna cook dinner. He said he's gonna call me. He said he's gonna call me and ask me if I want to come over and eat dinner with him. I tell you guys this story just to say, like, I don't have, my son is not on his iPad and stuff all day every day. No, I let my son literally use his imagination. And then guess what? Because of that, because he's always outside or playing with his cousins or he's doing these different activities and stuff like that, when he does get his iPad, guess what he's doing? He's not looking up. He's not, I mean, don't get me wrong, he loves YouTube, but he's not, even when he gets on YouTube, he's looking up like, what do sloths look like? Or where's Japan? How's the culture? Like he's just looking up different things about worldly things because he just loves to learn. He gets that from mommy. He loves to learn and stimulate his brain. And I just love that because it came natural and it just lets me know that I'm on the right path to whatever. I don't know what's going to happen next. I don't know exactly who he's going to be when he grows, but I know he is special. And I know that that boy is going to make an impact in this world the same way his mother is. So I'm just grateful. I'm just grateful and I'm glad that I don't follow the crowd or do things the way that other parents do. And I've literally came across other parents who are like, you raise your child different than I do. Well, I'm a completely different individual than you are. And quite naturally, a lot of people raise their children how their parents raised them. And me, yes, I raised my son how my parents raised me, but there were things and feelings that I had as a younger person that I felt like, why isn't my parents helping me do a project? I'm in elementary school. Why my parents don't help me do a project? Or why doesn't my parent have me in some type of sports? Because I didn't do any of that. I was with my brothers outside playing in the yard, whatever. But you know, my brothers and stuff, well, one of them I know for sure he got to play baseball and basketball and stuff like that. But it's just things that I wish my parents invested in me. They didn't. So I learned from that. Like, okay, I know I'm not going to do that because I don't want my son to feel like he didn't have a chance at something. You get what I'm saying? I need to see what it is that he likes, what he doesn't like. And I just need to keep him busy and keep that energy moving throughout his body so that he can continue to be creative, continue to just want to learn more about what it is out there. Because I always explain to him, like I hop on here and say, knowledge is power. And if you want to be anything, you want to be great in life, you have to learn, keep learning. That's what life is about, learning and growing and evolving. So I know I said a lot and probably rambled a little bit, but that's just my take on being a single parent. If you're not a parent out there, I would say this. I won't say don't have kids because I do like it's like what do you what did I come to this planet for? Like I did not come here just to be alone. You want to have a legacy to leave behind. You want them to keep growing and leaving things behind. Like the same where there's the Rockefellers and then Martin Luther King or Frederick Douglass. And I'm sure there's like, it's the list goes on of people who have left some type of impact on this world and left something behind for us to piggyback off and learn from. So, if you don't have kids, like I said before, take your time. Take your time. Love on yourself as much as possible so that when God brings that woman or that man in your life, you won't regret having a child with them. And they're going to be there for you and your child, help them grow. And that's where I'm at. Like, I'm just loving, loving, loving on myself. And I know that my son will eventually have that male figure, that masculine figure in his life that will have a great impact and be influential on his development and growth. But that's something that can't be rushed because his mother is a rare. I'm very genuine, very resilient, very spiritual. I always see the best in people. I don't really allow too many people in my energy. Like because I'm an empath, so I can feel people's energy and I already know what the move is before you even come along my way. So I say to myself a lot, but it allows me to see better. It allows me to trust my intuition more. And like I said, I trusted my intuition. I went with it, and here I am, happy and blessed and at peace within. I've forgiven, and I do not regret being a single mother. I love it. And I know one day I won't have to be a single mother and I won't be doing this alone. And you won't either. You just got to believe in yourself, believe in your children, set them up for success, and just love on them as much as possible. Again, this is the Diary of Nawan, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't already. Help my page grow. Follow me on my social media sites that will be listed in the description box below. I love chatting with you guys, and I'll see you next time. Bye.